Shall we get into this week's big topic?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Do, do, do.
So, fucking hell, we had a lot of stuff come out of Justice League this week, didn't we?
Yep, especially Anna Kendrick as Squirrel Gal.
Oh, give it up. We've had a couple of things revealed in the form of boring stuff like the logo. Oh, great!
Woo!
It's the word Justice League in white text with a little star in it. Like, you can't make the Justice League much less interesting than that logo. And then the synopsis, which sounds quite straightforward enough. I'll read it to you. Fueled by his restored faith in humanity and inspired by Superman's selfless act, Bruce Wayne enlists the help of his newfound ally, Diana Prince, to face an even greater enemy. Together, Batman and Wonder Woman work quickly to find and recruit a team of metahumans to stand against this newly awakened threat. But despite the formation of this unprecedented League of Heroes, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash, it may already be too late to save the planet from an assault of catastrophic proportions.
Squirrels!
It could well be just an army of squirrels, for all I know. So
One of them has to kill themselves to stop it, apparently.
I mean, that's fairly coherent and fairly straightforward as these things go. It's a team getting together to fight someone, right?
Yeah, if you were going to write a synopsis for this film before this synopsis was released,
that's what it would
you'd
be.
basically write that.
Yeah.
You would write that, and no. There's nothing. There's nothing. Just don't bother. Everyone knows what Justice League is going to give us. We all know what it's going to give us. We don't need to have a line of words written down to tell us exactly what we already know.
Yeah, that's true.
It's nothing.
I mean, they don't give us any indication of the villain.
Well, from what we know, that was kind of teased in the BVS extended cut, which Alex had the pleasure of watching this week. With that, it's not meant to be Darkseid. It's meant to be his Steppenwolf, one of his generals or whatever.
Yeah,
fuck knows.
So it's going into like the new gods type stuff of DC, which is quite deep, sort of mythological stuff to get into in these films. We'll see how.
They'll just play a video clip. They'll play a video clip.
Yeah, exactly. Just give you
Who is
YouTube
this
video. Zack Snyder's been trying to clear up some of this ambiguity by taking the time to answer questions on set from all these journalists he's invited to come and see him. He's basically trying to right the ship a little bit and convince people we're back on track, dudes. Don't worry, it's going to be good. And so he's been saying a lot of stuff, but he hasn't really made a lot of sense. And so I've called this I've called this segment Justice League Jeopardy, because you two are going to play a little game.
Hey.
I like games.
Are you ready?
Right, let's go.
I'm going to read you an answer that Zack Snyder gave during an interview, and I want you to tell me what he was asked.
Okay. Okay.
Because he talks such utter shit, I will be baffled if either of you can figure any of this out. So,
come on.
Listen in. The first answer given by our boy Zack. Hang on, I'm on the wrong slide. Here we go. I mean, listen. If it's about putting more fun in the movie or embracing some of the more what I would call blank, because I think it's in all the characters inherently sort of this larger than life, big fun stuff. Especially when you're dealing with the Justice League. You can't. And Flash, and with Momoa, when you see I've been out with Jason and the way that he's interacting with the group, even just in his Jason-ness, the contrast to Ben and to Gal is really interesting and fun. And just to finish my idea, if you wouldn't mind, what I was going to say about the Batman vs Superman concept is that inherently also you've got to remember the whole thread of that was to draw those two into conflict. Thanks, Zack. What the fuck did I ask?
Right. Zach, what is your opinion on bouncy castles?
Any advances on bouncy castles?
Zach, will there be more humour in the Justice League?
Oh, interesting. So he says...
That's the only thing it can be.
If it's about putting more fun in the movie or embracing some of the more what I would call... And then he just doesn't finish that thought. I think he was going to say something offensive to fans and then stopped himself. But it's only conjecture. I can't really fill in the blanks here.
I thought you were saying blank as in like you said.
No, I'm not hiding anything from
Oh,
it.
wow.
This is the way this man's brain works. He just sort of stops halfway through.
That's how it's
you can tell from the film.
Yeah, exactly. So, to put you out of your misery, let's see who, if anyone, was right. So how does the audience reaction and critical reaction of BVS inform you guys as you come to Justice League?
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it doesn't seem to have informed him that much, considering he can't answer a simple question with any sort of coherence at all.
Yeah.
Answer number 2. Well, yes. Okay, so we've got an affirmative answer here. So he's asked, something is yes. I would say that to me it's like, again, this evolution. Batman v Superman, I think, to me, was inherently like, okay, even from conception, from the beginning, when we were first like, oh, let's get Batman in the movie. And I've told you guys, we talked about how we got Batman in the movie. The whole story of who's he going to fight, we fought Zod. That's pretty much an alien. Yep, that's right. Who does he fight next? What do you do? And we were in that, I was with Chris Nolan, and we were just talking about this idea that, I think the first idea we had was like, this is how this man talks. It's fucking ridiculous. We'll just show kryptonite being delivered to Bruce Wayne's house at the end of the movie. I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. Huh. Then we got BVS. So what did the journalist ask Zack to deserve such a rambling, nonsensical response?
Go on, Scott.
Is Superman dead?
Maybe something like that. Who knows? I mean, he's talking about...
Well, yes, apparently.
He's talking about... it's going to take me a little while to decide what he's talking about here. He's talking about, like, the idea of how Batman came to come and fight Superman in the first place, and whose idea it was, and the evolution from that to Justice League, I guess. He mentions the word evolution. Have you got any ideas, Alex?
Oh, I think something to do with Pokemon.
Pokemon, maybe.
Yeah. Watch it.
Got to catch them all.
I mean, Pikachu or Raichu? Talk to me, Zach. That was the question.
Oh, would anyone really be in the right mind if they evolved Pikachu into Raichu?
No,
I think Zack Snyder would.
Yeah,
Zack Snyder would.
He would. He'd see like kryptonite being delivered to Pikachu's house, and Ash would be there crying. Misty would be.
And Zack's like, it's happening, boy.
Throwing the kryptonite into a big pit of nothingness, and then Brock would show up, and he'd be wearing a skirt.
That's probably...
Yeah, then Pikachu would evolve, and it'd all go wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what he did ask. You want to make a different movie from Batman vs Superman? Question mark. So yeah, it seems like maybe, who knows? Does he? Like, really? I don't know. I'm not much the wiser. And the last time I'll put you through this is when he said, no. But I feel like that's the whole thing of him building the team. I feel like the threat and the idea of building the team as a guy who's been a loner his whole career, I feel like the idea of him building the team, also, that was kind of the other thing when we were making Batman v Superman. He seems to start this thought of the idea of building the team, and then just completely stops himself. He carries on. I was really conscious of this idea of like, and I talked to Ben about it, of like, how can we not be stuck with this single note Batman for whatever, if it's 3 movies, because he's making his Batman movie? Like, what do we do? I tell you, Zack is one of the big thinkers of our time.
Isn't he just?
I could just listen to him talk.
Yeah, all day.
I won't get anything from it.
His mind is like a bag of
noise
cats.
before you go to bed.
He
It
just
just puts Zack Snyder interviews into my ears and just like,
Oh,
I can rest
imagine the
easy now.
nightmares.
It's just
Imagine
amazing
the nightmares.
that he manages to get dressed in the morning. He just can't finish a sentence. He's so scatterbrained that he can't just construct a simple answer. He has to ramble on about bullshit.
Right, so this answer was no, and then started talking about a loner building a team.
It's the idea of, Batman building a team seems to be at the centre of this brain fart that he's having. Yeah.
I think the question probably started off completely unrelated to Batman. Something along the lines of, so Zach, Jesse Eisenberg played Lex Luthor. What were your feelings of Jesse Eisenberg playing Mark Zuckerberg in The Social Network? And then he went from there. Something like that. Something about a social network, a loner building a team and doing well out of it. Something like that. Yeah.
You seem to be getting the idea.
I'm going with something about the vision. Like, is Batman building a team because of the vision?
Okay.
That was in the movie. Which, is it a vision? Is it a dream? I don't know, because it was really poorly edited.
So, let's see. The question was, how, when you're telling that story, do you balance Batman trying to have faith in humanity while facing a huge new threat?
What?
Which I think is actually a really good question, and I think a lot of these are pretty good questions. So Batman is trying to he's seeing the world a different way. That's an interesting topic of discussion, and making the film different from Batman vs Superman, fairly interesting subject.
But the answers are garbage.
And how the reaction people had to Batman vs Superman has come into play when deciding how to move forward with Justice League. And we basically got no answers to any of those pretty interesting questions. So
I should have gone with, is the Flash in this movie for the last one? No. Well, Batman.
The questions are really easy to answer as well. Have you listened to the viewers? Yes, we're not going to release a trailer that spoils everything.
Yeah.
That question one. Second one, something to do with Batman or something or the other. Well, it's not going to be a shit.
Yeah.
Question three, we're not going to go crazy art house in the middle of the first hour and confuse everybody who's watching it.
Yeah.
Done. Better film.
But the fact that he has no real grasp on the answers to these questions is very concerning when you want to know that he has solved these problems. You want to know that it's in the hands of a man with enough vision to understand the project he's putting together and how he's going to tackle the issues of the last one and tell you a story that makes sense. And when you get answers like that, it's very disconcerting. And it doesn't give me a lot of confidence.
It's concerning for me that he still seems to be referring to it as a Batman movie.
Oh yeah, he loves the Batman.
It's like saying that the Avengers is an Iron Man movie. It's not.
Yeah.
Justice League is an ensemble movie, and until he accepts that, it's always going to fail. Because Momoa and Aquaman, both of them, big actor, big character. You can't have Aquaman in a Batman film. Well, to be honest, you can't have Superman in a Batman film either. That's why it went badly. You can't have big names in a headliner's film. It doesn't work. And that's part of the reason where Batman vs Superman died as well. You've got Wonder Woman and Superman both appearing as cameos, for want of a better term, in a Batman-centric story, and it wasn't even that well executed as a Batman story either.
No. It had a lot of muddled vision, muddled ideas, and the problem is we've now got muddled thoughts of a lunatic who's currently filming, or maybe nearly finished filming the next movie. So, anecdotally, we've heard a lot from reporters who got to see a bit of the Flash and some scenes with. Everyone's got a lot of love for the Flash in this. Seems to be winning over hearts and minds of certain people. Whether he's going to make a big enough difference to an entire movie, this one of 6 main characters, who knows? But there does seem to be some people who have been sold on this idea. But what is it that we want from this film? Like, how is it going to right the ship for us and redeem this whole shared universe they're trying to create?
It needs to be simplified. Batman vs Superman was far too complicated. There was far too much of the vision, too much arty nonsense. People don't go to watch that film to sit and think about the prospect of life and death and all this sort of thing. No, what they want to do is see a guy in a black cowl beat crap out of somebody with a red cape, and they want it to be not necessarily fun, but there needs to be quite a simple story to follow, because when the whole world is exploding and falling down around the characters, you don't want to be sitting thinking about the nuance of whether this sign falling down in this manner means this, and whether that was the director's vision, because that's not what it is. It needs to be very simple. You need to explore the characters, their motivations to a certain extent, but again, bringing in the new characters, the Cyborg, Aquaman, and the Flash, there's not enough time to explore where their motivations are. You'll see a bit of conflict. I think I imagine Aquaman's quite a gobby little what's it anyway. He's not going to want to join up with them. The Flash is going to be reluctant to join up. Cyborg's just going to kick off. I think it just needs to be simple. Keep it very, very simple. Batman needs to take a leading role, and he needs to be confident in his decisions as well. And he needs to be fighting against them rather than fighting against himself to put the team together. And when eventually they do all realise that they need to work together, it just needs to work. And we need to have a good action sequence. What I don't want... It's just, it needs to be less art house and a little bit more AAA blockbuster.
And it's not like they're short of inspiration for how to tell a story about these people. There's 50 years worth of comic books to look at. There's the Justice League cartoons, which were a really good way of using these characters. They got everyone right. They used Batman in a clever way without overdoing it. But he seems to just want to strike out in his own direction, and without any real regard for the stories that these characters belong in, and they're being true to who those characters have been for the last fucking few decades.
We've seen broody Batman. We've seen him in the Dark Knight series. We've seen him in the comics. We know that he's got issues and he needs to deal with them. But when he's Justice League Batman, he's confident. He stands by his beliefs, and it's two characters played by the same Batman, and he puts the act on when he's surrounded by the others, and that works because he needs to be that voice of reason, that voice of confidence which guides the team, particularly without Superman there. He needs to be able to lead the team, and there's not enough time for him to be sitting staring up at the stars wondering Martha this and Martha that. It's no good for this film, but I think we all know we're going to see that again.
Scott, what's your confidence level in this movie being acceptable to good?
In all seriousness, I don't think it's gonna be good. I will eat my words if I'm wrong. I want it to be good. I love the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited cartoons.
Yeah.
I have such a fondness for the Flash, as I've made apparent, probably, maybe, I don't know. I love the Flash. Don't really care about Aquaman. I like Batman. I love Superman. Smallville, my jam. I want to see these characters come together and be awesome. Do I care? Not in this universe. I've seen a video clip of the Flash stopping someone robbing something, but did I see that? I don't know. He was getting some milk or something. It was great.
Yeah.
And Aquaman scared some robots.
Yeah.
And what's Cyborg done? Cyborg hasn't done anything but apparently be tortured by a mother box.
His dad kind of fucking did a number on him with the mother box. Yeah.
I think what we need is a Michael Bay film.
Yeah,
sure.
Something a bit more sort of simple.
He'll have more story.
We need a Michael Bay film here. After we've definitely had our fix of in-depth story and moping and staring off into the distance.
Yeah.
With Batman versus Superman, we need explosions. We need
characters. Like this was my main problem with Batman vs Superman. You have Wonder Woman, who is a really strong character. Like we're reading Wonder Woman now, and like she's got a lot to her. That wasn't in Batman vs Superman. It was Diana looking pretty, has like an exchange for 2 seconds with Bruce Wayne, comes back at the end of the movie dressed in all her Amazonian gear. It's like, cool. I mean, I know who you are.
Yeah.
This guy next to me, not a bloody clue.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't just do that with all these new characters. Oh, it's cool. We showed them a video clip. They know who they are. No, you need
Marvel got it right.
Yeah,
you got your Iron Man, your Captain America, your Thor films, your Incredible Hulk film, and then you take all these characters and bring them all together afterwards for the ensemble. Instead, what DC have decided to do is they're going to start off with the ensemble film, try to introduce the characters, and see how it goes. And it's not working.
If we get more video clips.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I think we're in for something that's going to be quite confused. A bit of a muddled story, but probably a simpler one based on what a lot of the actors have said about the script. There's no way it will be, coherently told with Snyder directing it. And
right.
Then you've got... There's probably be glimmers of goodness. Like, there'll be Flash. Probably is Ezra Miller. It sounds like he's doing a bang-up job of bringing a bit of levity to the film. I'm sure he will, but he's not in every frigging scene.
He should be. Flash. Just run.
So just run from one scene to the next.
Dialogue between Batman and Bruce and Diana, like zoom. It's cool. It's better now.
I don't know. Every time I see one of these, I think I'm done now. Man of Steel, I'm done now. PVS, I'll give it a chance, and I'm done now. And then they come out with another one, and it's like, shall I give it a chance?
You are going to watch this as well.
The thing is, I'm watching Justice League because I want Justice League to be done right. I want to support Ezra Miller because damn, that guy can act his ass off. Like Perks of Being a Wallflower, Something About Kevin, 2 amazing bloody movies, and Ezra Miller nails it. So like, I wish it was Grant Gustin, but we're not getting that. So fuck WB. Like I have this perfect vision of Justice League in my mind, and like my perfect vision, it might not be perfect for anyone else. You have Batman, Superman's dead. He's like, fuck, like, there's something coming, because apparently that's explained in an extended cut. So you've already got problems with the movie, but he's the world's greatest detective. He's seen the video clips. We start the film with him looking at this giant monitor, and he's got case files on all these guys. Like, he's done the work he's done, and then we have him going out. Him and Diana are the emissaries of the Justice League. They don't call it the Justice League yet. You get them forming a team. Diana bloody lassos the truth out of someone for, I don't know. And then so that's the first act of the movie. Them just trying to find and piece together this team. Then you can have your character development. Like, hell, Batman goes to Atlantis or something. Actually, more Wonder Woman. Because then that could be like setting up a war type thing. Like, you're invading our territory. And then not necessarily doing the war. I'm just saying, like, you could have that hostility there between the Amazonians and the Atlanteans. I can't remember what they're called. So then the second act is obviously the threat is looming. The city's destroyed because apparently that's what Snyder does. Like, let's blow up a city. Cool. Yeah. Wait, no, but we'll be informed that it's after tea time. It's after work time, so there's nobody there.
Yeah.
The island's abandoned.
Yeah.
That was the worst part about a PBS. Oh, it's just a shame people aren't working because they'd be dead now. Yeah. People are dead, mate. The fucking doomsday.
That's his idea of tackling a story issue in the previous film, is adding a bit of a line of dialogue to appease that one complaint. But the complaint is deeper than that. It's the whole way you tell a story and the way you present this universe. Not just that issue of you killed fucking thousands of people in that movie, and Superman, instead of actually helping them, decided to go and get off with Lois Lane in the middle of the wreckage instead. You can't answer that with one line of dialogue, but that's the way that he seems to think. But I don't know, man. I'm going to watch it. I'm just pretty convinced I'm not going to enjoy it.
And then, so, like, they come together, beat Steppenwolf, Darkseid.
Yeah.
And it's like, it has to end with Darkseid being on there.
This is the other issue, though. It's part 1 of 2 movies, so we're not even going to get a definitive ending.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with Darkseid. I'm okay with the movie ending with the Justice League defeated at the hands of Darkseid or badly beaten or something, and then what's it called? Maybe if you don't show it, because you know what's going to happen. Like we go to the Martha or Lois. Actually, Lois might be better because then you give her something to do. She goes to Clark's grave, and there's just a hole in the ground. Like the Justice League are defeated. Darkseid's looming over him. Like Lois is there, just like Clark. I wish you were here. And then, but like the grave's gone, and then like you just have Clark standing in front of Darkseid or something, and it ends. I don't know.
I'm a bit worried that they're going to use Superman in a different way, because they're being quite tight-lipped about it. But he's got to be in the film.
Yeah, he's listed as cast.
So, are they going to bring him back as like a zombie Superman villain type thing?
Bizarro.
Bit of a Bizarro for someone for them to fight. Bit of a Batman's sort of sins come back to haunt him. This man he didn't trust and tried to kill is now coming back.
It's okay. He'll say Martha.
I know, but whether they use him in that way, just they've got someone to punch for the first couple of acts, and whether Superman manages to become himself again by the end of it or whatever, I don't know. That the fact that we aren't seeing it gives me more of a concern, because it.
Tell you what though, if the trailer shows Superman in it, I'm just going to be like.
They can't just bring him straight back, but he's in the movie.
They need to build
so
it.
They're going to have to do something a bit different.
Yeah, I would say they won't put him in the trailer to keep it a surprise, but
they'll put him in it.
Previous form says he's going to be front and centre.
Batman's beaten and he's like, I really wish we had Clark. You called.
I was
kept you waiting, huh?
I was kind of hoping one of you would have been like on the side of BVS so that we could have a spirited discussion of the pros and cons, but I think we're all pretty down on it. So
it became a good film when they started fighting and they stopped with the nonsense attempt to tell a story. That was it.
But then,
the fighting was good. Lex was horrendous as well. He played
it's
mental.
Not Lex,
really...
It's Alexander Luthor Jr. except to shave his head at the end, so then he is let off.
I don't think it is. I think that's the way they did the Jimmy Olsen thing. Like, oh, it's Jenny Olsen, and then Jimmy is some CIA agent apparently who needed to be murdered in the first scene of BVS for no reason. They're just doing whatever they want, but it is pretty much, for all intents and purposes, Lex Luthor.
Yeah, and he played mental really well. Yeah. He played crazy, but
he's not playing the Joker.
No, and he played Jesse Eisenberg really well. He was really good at being himself.
Yeah.
I hope Michael Rosenbaum just comes and is like, yeah, I'm the real Lex Luthor.
Well, and Tom Welling shows up as well, yeah? He played Superman. Got rid of
Tom Welling.
Yeah, Tom Welling would be Bizarro.
That'd be kind of cool, to be fair.
I do like these sort of fan casting ideas, but yeah. Shall we draw a line under that one?
I think we're gonna have to.
I hope it's good. Like, I don't want to see a bad movie out of it. You know what I mean? I don't hope it's bad. Why would you hope it bad? It's just what we've been given and what we're hearing doesn't instill confidence in the fact that it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think we're all agreed on that. Alright, that's enough for today. Thanks for listening. If you've sat through the videos, then well done indeed. Hope I didn't fuck it up too much. I'll try and fix some of it, actually, before it goes live. If you enjoy this stuff, let us know by rating us on iTunes, giving us a thumbs up on YouTube. If you think we're shit, I'll put my postal address in the description of the video so you can send me some anthrax in the mail. And if you'd rather just abuse us directly, you can find us on Twitter. Alex is TellyAlex, at TellyAlex, I should say. Scott is at ScottSedman94, and I'm at IamKirkman. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Scott, and hopefully see you next week.
Yes.
Bye-bye.